As you work within Documents in Illustrator, you'll find yourself moving back and forth between two preview modes. In Illustrator, when you're in preview mode itself, which is a default setting, you're basically seeing your artwork as if it would appear when it prints on a printed page. Or if you're designing something for the web, the way that it would appear on a computer screen. Again, going back to what we said before, these fill and stroke attributes that we apply to objects are appearances. And the preview setting allows us to see what those appearances look like. However, we also know that underlying, behind the scene, are those vectors, those anchor points and those paths that make up what a vector graphic is. Illustrator has a separate preview mode called Outline View, and the Outline View shows you just the paths without the appearance. Moving between these different preview modes can be useful as you work inside of Illustrator. First, notice in the View menu itself you have a setting here called Outline. If I click on that option, I now see my view in Outline mode. If I go back to the View menu, I choose Preview. That is how I toggle back and forth between this Outline mode and this Preview mode. Now, the keyboard shortcut for this is Command-Y or Control-Y. That allows me to very quickly see what my paths look like without any appearances on them, and then see what it looks like with the appearances on them. This can be useful because there are times when it's more advantageous to select objects in Outline mode. Now, as we discussed before, we know that you can go into isolation mode. For example, if I wanted to edit maybe one of these pieces of artwork that's right here, even though it's behind the word surfing, I can come over here and double-click again, and now I've isolated that particular path, so it makes it easy to work with. Notice how it comes to the front. Again, I hit the escape key to exit the isolation mode, and now I'm back to where I was. However, there may be times when I want to make a quick little edit to it without going even into isolation mode. By hitting Command-Y or Control-Y, I can now simply come over and target just that one particular part of it. I can use my direct selection tool to select just that particular path that's there. Now you'll also notice that the rays that appear over here are filled with what's called a gradient, but as I go ahead here and I take a look, I see that those are the paths that are used to define that particular area as well. And as I'm working in Illustrator, again, I might jump back and forth between those preview modes. So it's important to know that I have those two modes. Again, Preview, where I'm seeing the appearance of my artwork, and then the Outline mode, where I see just the paths, but not the appearance itself.